It's kind of weird. I didn't hate this one. Mariners lose 9-6. They fall to 2-3 on the season, and they lose the first of the 3-game set to the Detroit Tigers. Go over the scoring plays, kind of. The Detroit Tigers scored 6 runs in the first inning. So it is 6-0 in the middle of the first inning. Now I got to scroll down a whole heck of a lot. Second inning, Mariners get on the board. Randy Arozarena homers to left. It is 6-1, but right in the top of the third, Kerry Carpenter doubles to center to score Justin Henry Malloy. 7-1. Bottom of the third, Julio Rodriguez grounds out to third. Grounds out seems mean. It was a terrific play by Javi Baez, but it scores J.P. Crawford to make it 7-2. Fourth inning, Dylan Dingler. That's a tough name to say for some reason. Singles to right to score Colt Keith. Dylan Dingler, Colt Keith. Man, they really like some spoonerism there. Or not spoonerism, alliteration. That makes it 8-2 in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth, Luke Raley homers to right to make it 8-3. Fifth inning, Jorge Polanco singles to right to score Julio. It's 8-4. But in the seventh inning, Justin Henry Malloy reaches on an infield single to score Dylan Dingler. 9-4. Mariners get 2 in the ninth, and it's great to see. Congrats, Big Dumper, on your first homer of the year. Homers to left to score Julio to make it 9-6. Mariners lose. Wow, that was a long scoring recap. Before we get into the positives and negatives, a lot of negatives, a lot of positives. Let's talk about the ultimate positive, which is shopping at Simply Seattle. You're going to find anything you're looking for as a Seattle sports fan at Simply Seattle. Great hats, great hoodies, great t-shirts, all sorts of great stuff. And once you find all that great stuff, and by the way, just because I named 2 things, there's a heck of a lot more than there. I just want to keep this video under 15 minutes. It's not going to happen, but I want to do that. Use code MOLLYWOP15, MOLLYWHOP15. It's going to save 15% off your order. It's a great deal. It doesn't matter if you're buying Mariner stuff, Kraken stuff, Supersonic stuff. You're going to get that deal, and it's really awesome to support a local business like them. So please do that and show you're supporting the show as well. MOLLYWHOP15. Link in the description, and you can just copy and paste that code. I'm a very nice human being. I'm going to do this one a little different. So normally when they lose, I start with the positives and I end with the negatives. I'm actually going to start with the negatives this time just because it's pretty short. So Emerson Hancock starts, and I feel for dude because it didn't go very well. He went 2/3 of an inning and he gave up 6 runs. I will say Emerson Hancock didn't pitch that badly. Now, how many people honestly pitch bad enough to give up 6 runs in 2/3 of an inning? How many people actually pitch bad enough to have an ERA of 81 after your first start? The answer is not all that many. And there was a lot of soft contact and broken bats, and Dan Wilson mentioned it. Of course, Wilson mentioned it. He's going to stick up for his dudes. That's what good managers do. I don't know if Dan Wilson's a good manager yet, but at least he's doing that right for sure. Broken bats, I think 4 of the hits, maybe it was 3, had exit velocities below 70 miles per hour. You know, he had some bad luck. Having said that, that doesn't mean that Emerson Hancock was good, and he gave up plenty of hard contact. No, it was 3 hits that he allowed that were below 70 miles per hour, and then 4 that were just shellacked. And one of them was on a decent pitch. The Riley Green homer in the first inning was on a pitch that was on the outer part of the plate, caught a little too much middle. If that's up a little bit, I don't think he's in as much trouble. But it was a good piece of hitting by Riley Green, who's a good hitter. He wasn't that bad, but he wasn't good. If he did anything today, he reminded you that, boy, having George Kirby back in a month or so sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? And again, having said that, I'm letting Emerson Hancock start Sunday, and it sounds like they will. I don't think there's a lot of great options. I saw some people suggest Logan Evans. He's not ready. Nope. Logan Evans isn't ready. And his start against I can't even remember who they played. I think it was Round Rock. It was okay. 3 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. I'm trusting Emerson Hancock. Now, if he stinks against the Giants on Sunday, you got to start thinking about some stuff. You got to start making some plans if that happens. But for now, I'm sticking with Emerson Hancock. I don't have a ton of confidence in him, but he's your 5th starter. He's your 5th, and it's frustrating he pitched so poorly because this was actually a pretty good offensive game, and we can just get into the positives now. I liked what I saw from the lineup today. I really liked what I saw from the lineup today. And if you are a Seattle Mariner fan who feels like this team is cursed, it's right there in front of you, my man, or anyone. To put together easily your best offensive game. Easily. And of course, there's 157 of these things to go, and they've only played 4 of them. But easily their most complete offensive effort of the season on a night where your starting pitcher can't get out of the first inning. You got to start questioning where you built this stadium at some point and what type of burial ground you're over. Because that's just typical Seattle Mariner bad luck. And look, they put themselves into this position more often than not. But boy, for that to happen, to finally have a complete offensive game on a night where your starting pitcher gives up a touchdown worth of runs and misses the extra point, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. Now, it wasn't a perfect offensive game. Ryan Bliss really struggled. Rowdy Tellez has not carried over the success that he had from spring whatsoever. But your top of the lineup, now Victor Robles goes 1 for 5, but it's a double. Your 1 through 4 did the job tonight. Julio goes 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored and an RBI and should have had a third hit if not for a play that I don't know why the announcers didn't talk about how good that play was from Javier Baez, a diving play to his right where he has to, on his knees, throw out Julio Rodriguez. It's a good play. Julio didn't crush it by any stretch of the imagination, but he gets the job done. Cal Raleigh, sure, it comes in a low leverage situation, but he finally homers. Randy Arozarena homers and doubles and walks. He looks great. That 188 average, batting average is a flawed stat anyway, but he looks excellent to begin the year. Jorge Polanco is swinging the bat very well. You know, after Julio gets the triple, and to be fair, that ball probably should be caught. It's not an easy play whatsoever, but it probably should be caught. And it didn't help that Zach McKinstry had zero idea where that baseball went, but he gets the triple, and then Raleigh strikes out, Arozarena strikes out, and good for Polanco for getting that knock, because if they would have gone triple, strikeout, I might have been pretty cranky. Maybe that's why I'm in such a good mood. Luke Raley draws a couple of walks, one of them against a left-hander, and he hits the first home run of the season. 1 through 6 did their job. 1 through 6 absolutely did their job, in particular 2 through 6. Now, 7 and 8, not so great. Hey, JP Crawford draws a couple of walks as well. So that's nice to see. Help that Jackson Jobe did not have his best command. By the way, Jackson Jobe, one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. I expect big things from that guy going forward. But I'm not super bummed about this loss. I'm bummed because, oh my gosh, you finally scored runs and you lose. But I'm encouraged because the approach today was really good. It was assertive, but, you know, not swinging at pitches outside of the zone, with some exceptions, of course. Hard contact from guys you want to see hard contact from anybody, but you particularly want to see hard contact from guys like Julio, Arozarena, Polanco. That's important. That's important for carrying forward as this goes. And, you know, you give up 9 runs, you only give up 3 after the first inning, and you pitched. Now, look, Colin Snyder pitches an inning and a third. I was a little surprised he went as deep as he did, but Carlos Vargas gave you 3 2/3 innings. Imagine me telling you at any point this year that Carlos Vargas was going to throw 44 pitches for you. And then Bizardo did a nice job too. You got 5 2/3 innings from the very, very, very back of your bullpen. And Saucedo was solid as well after replacing Hancock. The bullpen did its job. It kept you in the game. And the Mariners had some chances. They had some chances here. And, you know, if Raleigh and Arozarena could have gotten on after that triple from Julio, maybe we're talking about a different game. I do have one complaint, and it has to do with lineup construction. I realize that you are managing for you're playing this to score as many runs as possible. Obvious point is obvious. Rayleigh and Tellez hitting between each other or hitting next to each other, that's too easy to manage. That's too easy. You got to put somebody in between. I would move up Rayleigh and move down Polanco just because of having that switch hitter between the two. Because, like I talked about, like Luke Rayleigh is an extreme platoon hitter, but Rowdy Tellez isn't an extreme one. He's much better against righties, but he's not a lost cause over his career against southpaws. It's too easy to manage that, to go bring in that lefty for those guys. And, you can pitch hit Solano and you can pitch hit Dylan Moore. But boy, after that, and especially in innings like that, where I think it was like the 6th inning, something like that, you've got nothing on your bench after that. Nothing for guys that I would want to pinch hit for, like Ryan Bliss and JP Crawford. So that's something that's bugged me a little bit. It's a minor complaint. We'll call it a AA complaint. But I'm kind of encouraged by this one. I'm encouraged that, Emerson Hancock was terrible. But that's not going to happen very often. Like, even if Emerson Hancock isn't great, and I know he's not, Emerson Hancock isn't going to be a disaster most of the time he goes out there. He's going to have some clunkers because he doesn't fool hitters. And that's the ultimate complaint about this start. Yeah, he got bled to death. There were cuts, like paper cuts, excuse me. But he's not wearing gloves. So it's kind of easy to get to those paper cuts because he doesn't fool hitters. He just doesn't. So his command has to be really, really, really good. And it wasn't. He's got to work up to. He's got to change hitters' eye levels, and he just didn't. Detroit's a decent lineup, and I talked about this on Mollywatt Monday. Having the Tigers play the Mariners right after. Now, I hear you. Having the Mariners play the Tigers right after the Tigers play the Dodgers is not fair, because a lot of teams are going to be able to get right after they play the Dodgers. A lot of teams are. And they got right tonight. They certainly got right tonight. But for whatever reason, I'm not upset about it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not too upset about it. One way to make me feel happy is to hit like and subscribe on this video and to tell your friends and to share. I really appreciate it. We're closing in on 1,900. I was kind of hoping we'd have 2,000 by the start of the season, but that's on me for not posting enough stuff. Really appreciate the support. Tomorrow's a big one. You got to win because Wednesday's Tariq Skubal. And I'll just be honest with you. I trust Luis Castillo pitch well. I don't trust this offense against Tariq Skubal whatsoever. I don't trust any offense against him, but especially this Mariner offense. So the pride of Seattle U, win this one so that Wednesday becomes, a chance to win the series is great, but avoid the sweep. You can't have sweeps. Too many sweeps last year, or too many lost series. And you're going to lose this one too, so I'm talking out of my you-know-what, but probably. Anyway, do you agree with me? Are you less upset by this just because it's kind of fun to watch the offense, right? Oh, I want to talk about one thing real quick, and I knew I couldn't. Got 40 seconds. So I don't go on Twitter anymore for a lot of reasons, but mainly reasons you probably understand. Somebody sent me a link to Julio Rodriguez having fun with fans and being cheering for the hydro races between innings, and a bunch of people got butthurt. Seek help. Because the alternative to that is your 24-year-old face of the franchise not engaging with fans. And if that's what you want, I'm just going to call it right now. You're probably a miserable human being.